All right, so get this. AI isn't just writing emails anymore.
No, no.
It's cleaning up spills, too.
Yeah.
Researchers at UC Berkeley and ETH Zurich, they created a robot arm. And get this,
Okay.
it's powered by ChatGPT.
Wow.
And it can identify spills, grab a sponge, and tidy up all while narrating its actions
Like it's talking to you.
in perfect English.
That's amazing. What I think is really incredible is that they did all of this in just 4 days
4 days.
with robot arms that only cost $250 each.
That's insane.
It really shows how fast things are moving in this field and how accessible it's becoming.
That's incredible.
You know, it wasn't that long ago that this would have been a massive project, and now it's like a weekend project, like a hackathon.
It's wild. And get this, too. The whole project,
Yeah.
it's open source.
That's huge.
So imagine the possibilities when anyone can build and experiment with this technology.
Exactly. This open source approach, it could lead to so much innovation in robotics.
Yep.
Think about it. Someone in their garage could come up with the next big thing
Right.
using these tools that are right there for them.
That's incredible.
The researchers even made a YouTube playlist showing you how to build the robot arms.
Oh, wow.
It's like they're giving everyone the keys to this whole new world of AI possibilities.
So how did they do it?
Ooh.
How did they get ChatGPT, which is all about language?
Right.
How did they bridge the gap between that and the physical actions of a robot arm?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing for AI to write a poem,
Uh-huh.
but it's another thing to make it clean up my spilled coffee.
Right. Well, they used a framework called LangChain, and
LangChain.
LangChain basically translates what ChatGPT is saying into instructions for the robot arm.
Interesting.
You can think of it like a universal translator.
Okay.
Converting that complex language into commands the robot can actually understand and follow.
Okay, that makes sense.
Hmm.
But is the robot just following like pre-programmed instructions, or is it learning and adapting?
That's where it gets even more interesting. They used what's called reinforcement learning to teach the robot.
So it's like,
It's kind of like teaching a dog a new trick.
got it.
You reward it when it does something right, and it learns through trial and error.
That's really cool.
Yeah, the article even mentions that the robot, it can identify a spill,
Uh-huh.
locate the sponge, explain what it's going to do, and then actually clean it up
Wow.
flawlessly.
It's amazing.
That ability to reason and communicate, that's what sets it apart from regular robots.
Like having a little robot assistant that understands what you need and can tell you exactly how it's going to help.
Exactly. And the fact that it learned all of this in just 4 days is,
It makes you wonder what's next,
it really does.
right? If a robot can clean up a spill that quickly, what other tasks could it master?
I know.
I mean, this feels like a major leap forward for AI and robotics.
It really is. And with this open source thing,
Yeah.
the possibilities are just endless. Who knows what people come up with?
This is a game changer for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've talked about how these robots are incredibly fast learners and that anyone can basically build and experiment with them.
Right.
So what are some specific ways this technology could be used beyond just cleaning up spills?
Oh man, there are so many possibilities. Let's dive into that.
Okay.
Oh man, the potential applications of this tech go way beyond spills. It's like opening this door to a whole new world.
Okay, like what? Give me some examples.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking of so many things.
Well, okay, think about manufacturing.
Okay.
GPT-powered robots working right there on the assembly line with humans,
Mhm.
handling those really intricate tasks with speed and precision.
Yeah.
They could adapt to changes, learn new procedures quickly, even spot defects, all while talking and working with their human coworkers.
That would completely change the game for efficiency and productivity. What about healthcare?
Oh, absolutely. Huge impact there, too.
Yeah.
Okay, picture this. A surgical robot.
Okay.
Guided by GPT-4 assisting surgeons with those really delicate procedures,
Yeah.
reducing human error, improving outcomes for the patient.
Wow.
Or imagine robots providing that personalized care to elderly patients,
Okay.
reminding them about their meds, helping them with daily stuff, even chatting with them so they're not lonely.
That's incredible. So it could revolutionize patient care, but what about those really dangerous jobs? Could robots handle those too?
Oh, that's one of the most exciting parts.
Yeah.
Think about disaster relief efforts. Robots going into dangerous areas, assessing risks, doing those complex tasks, like
Mhm.
rescuing people who are trapped or delivering supplies,
Right.
or even space exploration robots working with astronauts, handling hazardous materials, doing experiments, even building structures on other planets.
Now that's pushing the limits, but with all this talk about robots doing human jobs, it makes you think about the impact on jobs, right?
Yeah, that's a real concern, and it's something we definitely need to consider as this tech gets more advanced. But,
Yeah.
it's important to remember that throughout history, every time we've had big tech advancements, things shift in the job market.
That's true.
Some jobs might become automated, but new opportunities pop up too.
So it's not about robots taking over. It's more about humans and robots working together in new ways.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We got to focus on retraining and upskilling the workforce,
Right.
giving people the tools and knowledge they need to succeed in this changing world.
Yeah.
There's going to be a huge need for people who can design, program, maintain, and work alongside these robots.
That makes sense. It's all about adapting and finding ways for humans and AI to work together.
Yeah, exactly. And as we integrate AI more and more into our lives,
Right.
we got to make sure we have strong ethical guidelines in place
Right.
to make sure things are being developed and used responsibly. We
Absolutely.
need to address potential risks and make sure this technology is benefiting humanity.
So this research has really opened up this Pandora's box of possibilities, both good and bad.
Yeah.
We've seen how it could benefit different industries, but we also need to be aware of those potential downsides and try to prevent them. This really feels like a turning point for AI and robotics.
It is, and it's not just about the tech itself,
Yeah.
It's about how we choose to use it and integrate it into society. It's a conversation we all need to be a part of.
Very well said. So we've covered a lot today, from the basics of how this technology works to its potential and all the ethical stuff.
We have.
Let's just take a minute to go over the key things we've learned from this deep dive. All right, so let's recap everything we talked about in this deep dive into AI cleaning up messes.
Yeah, we started with that research from Berkeley and Zurich,
Right.
where they basically got GPT-4 to control a robot arm to, clean up spills.
And they pulled it off in just 4 days
4 days.
with those cheap robot arms.
Yeah, like $250 a piece.
Crazy how quickly this tech is changing and how it's becoming so much easier to get your hands on.
Especially with the whole open source thing. It's like they're inviting everyone to join in and see what they can do.
Exactly. And it's not just about cleaning spills anymore. We talked about how this could change everything, like manufacturing healthcare, even
Yeah.
like risky jobs, disaster relief, space exploration.
Yeah, like robots working right there on the assembly line with people.
Uh-huh.
Helping surgeons with complicated procedures, going into dangerous places to do tasks that would be too risky for a human.
Like rescuing people trapped after a disaster or delivering supplies.
Exactly. Or imagine robots up in space,
Yeah.
working side by side with astronauts, handling dangerous stuff, doing experiments, even building things on other planets.
It's mind-blowing, but, with all this talk about robots doing things people do, it makes you think about what happens to those jobs.
Right. It's a valid concern, something we have to consider as this technology keeps it advancing. But
Yeah.
it's important to remember that every time we've had a big leap in tech throughout history,
Yeah.
the job market has shifted.
Right.
Some jobs might get automated, but then new opportunities open up.
So it's not like robots are taking over. It's more like figuring out how humans and robots can work together in new ways.
Exactly. We need to focus on retraining people and giving them the skills they'll need in this new world.
Right. Like teaching them how to design, program, maintain, and work with these robots.
Yeah, and as we bring AI into our lives more and more, we need to make sure we have those ethical guidelines in place.
Yeah.
So it's developed and used responsibly.
We have to address those potential risks and make sure this technology is helping humanity.
Exactly.
So we started with a story about a robot cleaning up spills, and now we're talking about the future of AI and robots.
It's a future with huge potential, but also challenges, and we're the ones shaping it.
If a robot can learn to clean up in just a few days, imagine what else it could learn to do.
It really gets you thinking about what's possible.
And that wraps up our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us as we explored this world of AI-powered robots.
Keep those minds curious and those imaginations going, because the future is out there waiting to be shaped